Tonight on Connecticut's news station, student safety concerns. How educators are responding in one city after several recent incidents caused schools to lock down.
Plus, a man shot in his kitchen in one Connecticut city.
My house could be next, my family could be next. I don't like thinking about that.
The latest on the investigation into a frightening situation for neighbors.
Warming up, temperatures tomorrow approaching 80 degrees, likely the warmest day of the week before some cooler air and even frost settles in. We'll explain when. Full forecast coming up.
And changing course.
Wages have been increasing for adults who haven't gone to college.
We're looking into the growing trend of high school graduates choosing not to go to college.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And first on Fox 61 tonight, calls to improve student safety in Waterbury after several schools have gone into lockdown recently. Good evening, I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. Thank you so much for joining us. Educators are looking for solutions after those incidents around the city over the last few weeks. Fox 61's Gabby Molina joins us live in Waterbury tonight to tell us what parents and the school district want to be done. Gabby.
Ben and Jen, while the district didn't want to divulge too many details about their security protocols, they did say that they had meetings to debrief after all of those incidents. A lot of the conversation tonight surrounded communication and what role everyone has to play in keeping students safe. In less than a month's time, several Waterbury schools have been placed in lockdowns for reports of weapons, including one incident in which there actually was a loaded gun brought into the building.
I think one incident is more than enough with everything that's happening in the nation.
Monday evening, school officials and police invited parents to share their concerns and learn more about what's being done to keep their children safe.
I think it's important to have the parents come in, have them provide some feedback for us, as well as just explain the protocol and the situations and how we respond to threats in the school.
As well as teach them what not to do when these situations arise. Last week, 2 parents were arrested for entering Crosby High School during a lockdown. Officials say it's still under investigation how they were able to get inside, but that false information spread on social media played a role in the panic of that day.
That information created a lot of unrest, tears, anger, frustration, fear dominated at that point.
Some parents still dealing with some of those feelings, asking the school district to implement new security measures, such as more police officers on campus and metal detectors at the doors.
I'd rather get a parent square saying a gun was found at the door than a gun was found in a classroom.
While there was disagreement on what the solutions should be, many did agree that the discussions on school safety cannot end here.
We don't feel that our kids are safe. Our kids don't feel safe. Kids don't want to go to school.
And officials say next steps will involve continued participation from parents.
It's critical to hear the voice of parents, how they're feeling, suggestions that they may have.
There wasn't a large turnout by parents at this meeting, which ended up being part of the discussion, with many saying that it's critical that parents do get involved. Coming up on the news at 11, I'll have more on what the message was for students. Live in Waterbury, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Gabby, thank you. There are also safety concerns for students in Middletown after the city's schools were told to secure their perimeters today. All of this came after police say several people were seen trying to break into cars parked at the Spencer and Moody School. No one was allowed in or out of any of the schools until police lifted the order, but classes continued as normal. Officers are still looking for the suspects tonight. Getting to the weather watch here, we have gotten a gorgeous stretch of weather our way, and good news here, it's not going anywhere.
Yes, so much so that we're actually going to need some rain soon. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us tonight. Rach.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, if you had said, yeah, we're going to want some rain soon, I would have gone, no, there's no way. We've had so much lately. But after that 2-week span of wet weather, late April into early May, now we haven't seen a drop of rain since. So there's actually a fire weather watch in effect throughout the area heading through the day tomorrow. What that means is if a brush fire gets started, it can spread more rapidly. That's caused by the recent dry conditions, also very dry air. Very low moisture content in it. We'll also see gusty winds as we head through the day tomorrow as well. So that will will only add fuel to the fire, so to speak. Temperatures right now close to the 60-degree mark for both Hartford and New Haven. It was so beautiful out there today. Mid-50s in Chester, right around the 60-degree mark right now for Bridgeport. And as we head through the evening tonight, it won't be as chilly as it was last night into this morning, with overnight lows dipping into the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Tomorrow, once again, we're looking at some smoke in the sky in the upper levels of the atmosphere from wildfires all the way in western Canada. But we're going to see a warm day, so that sunshine filtered through a smoky sky. High temperatures around 80 degrees away from the Connecticut shoreline. And there is a chance for a very late night shower in spots, but I think most of the state stays dry. Then it turns sharply cooler, and we even have the chance for frost later this week. So we are all over the map with a very typical roller coaster ride spring 7-day forecast. We'll show it to you coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New details tonight as police look for whoever shot into a New Haven home 36 times and hit a man in his kitchen. The 26-year-old is in critical condition tonight after he was shot twice in the head. Fox 61's DeAndrea Turner joining us live in New Haven tonight with what investigators know tonight about this shooting. DeAndrea.
Well, you guys, we also spoke to the victim's mom off camera today. She tells me that her son was in the kitchen cutting a slice of cake when he got shot in the head twice. And now officials also say they are going to have a lot of foot patrol in the neighborhood this evening. But neighbors say that still doesn't make them feel safe.
Young man hit, we don't believe was a target.
An innocent 26-year-old man met with 36 rounds of bullets in the comfort of his home. 2 bullets hitting him in the head.
And it's just really stressful to know, like, I live in an area where it's almost inevitable, you know.
Officials say the shooting that happened Sunday night on Lodge Street was targeted, but not towards the man who's fighting for his life in the hospital.
For people there at that gathering that are witnesses, we really want people's help to identify who shot this individual.
Neighbors like Deja Thorpe says that she hears first responders so frequently that it's like white noise.
I don't want to say not often, but I'm used to hearing the fire trucks, the ambulances, anything like that in this area.
And this latest shooting emphasizing how unsafe she feels in the place she calls home.
It wasn't until I got older that I started feeling like maybe it's not the safest place to live because of the constant shootings. Knowing that it happened so close to me, there's a possibility, I don't know, my house could be next, my family could be next. I don't like thinking about that.
And now the chief of police also told me that he and another few officers, they planned on visiting this neighborhood again tonight to knock on specific doors of young men they feel could be in danger of gun violence. Their goal was to give them preventative measures to this gun violence, and they're hoping that this is another way to decrease gun violence here in the city. In New Haven, DeAndrea Turner, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, DeAndrea, thank you very much. Well, also in the Elm City, police are investigating after shots were fired just outside of Yale New Haven Hospital. This happened on nearby York Street just after 3:30 this afternoon. Investigators say there were no reports of anyone injured. New Haven's police chief says the shooting appears to be related to a fight several blocks away from the hospital.
Some kind of dispute or road rage incident where someone flashed a gun. The victims were afraid. They fled from the man with the gun at Howard and 2nd, and they ended up in this area where the shooter then fired.
The hospital was not targeted, police say, and neither was anyone inside of it. One of the cars involved was hit by a bullet, as well as a parking booth. Anyone with information about the incident should call New Haven police.
New at 10 tonight, a Ledyard man is convicted in the stabbing death of a man in Providence, Rhode Island after leaving a nightclub nearly 4 years ago. 28-year-old Jonquin T. Felders will spend 27 years in prison after pleading no contest to second-degree murder. He's among 8 men convicted in the death of 28-year-old Stephen Cabral of North Providence. Surveillance video shows those men running across the parking lot of a nearby pharmacy and attacking Cabral. 6 of the men were sentenced in January of 2020, and the 7th was convicted in August of 2021.
A Hartford man accused of stabbing his girlfriend to death and admitting to it last month was back in court today, where his case was continued to next month.
We want justice. Give him life. We want
Well, family and loved ones of 57-year-old Nilda Rivera, also known as Linda, rallied outside of Hartford Superior Court calling for justice. Police say Rivera was stabbed 25 times by 52-year-old Pedro Grajales. Grajales then drove to the Hartford Police Department and told officers at the front desk that he had just stabbed his girlfriend and she was in a car parked outside.
I am angry. I am upset. This was disgusting. Monster needs to be put in jail. In jail. For life.
She was very loving, very understanding. She always liked to help everyone out. And she loved to cook, dance, and listen to music.
Grajales' public defender waived any time requirements for a probable cause hearing. The defense also requested he be put in protective custody and asked the court to order a competency evaluation. Grajales is due back in court on June 6th.
State lawmakers are considering a bill to require police officers to tell drivers why they've been pulled over during a traffic stop. The Senate unanimously passed the bill last week. One state senator says that people of color are overwhelmingly targeted by police. In 2019, black drivers were in 18% of traffic stops, despite making up 13% of the state's population.
This is going to really help smooth over the relationship between law enforcement and minoritized communities where there has been a rift. This is going to help to sort of de-escalate those kind of situations and to ensure that we are saving lives.
State Senator Gaston says he's spoken with House lawmakers and he's confident the bill will pass there as well.
Well, new at 10, a financial planning firm hosted its first golf tournament for MakeAWish, Connecticut. Johnson Brunetti held the event at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, which will also host the PGA Tour's Travelers Championship next month. Johnson Brunetti has been working with the MakeAWish Foundation for 12 years now. The goal of the golf tournament was to raise money to grant 225 wishes. Fox 61 is a proud sponsor of the tournament. Our Jim Altman was an MC for tonight's live auction. And Ben, you actually golfed there today, too.
Yeah, played in it. It was a great day, but truly, MakeAWish Connecticut, amazing people, even better costs.
No doubt about that.
All right,